What was that?
It's so good. It's so good. Can I set my experience up? Like, I'm sure y'all have had a similar one, but it's like, I've been staying off of FF7 Rebirth news pretty much holistically, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So it's honestly been like in the back of my mind, if that, to the point of where I'm like, I'm gonna buy it when it comes out, but I'm not even thinking about it, you know? I don't even care. But then the demo happens, and it's like, oh, wonderful. Well, I'm gonna give this a shot. And then all the fucking feelings I had with the first demo, all over again. Of the first remake game, all over again. Just, I can't believe this exists. I can't believe this is this good. This is fucking ridiculous. Like,
It's magical.
this is a impossible video game to me. I cannot believe it exists at the quality it's at and at the fun it's at. I mean, oh my god. Okay. Fuck. Breathe.
Breathe.
How do we want to do this? Do we want to go like linear? Like, do we just kind of want to start at the beginning, talk about each thing? Like,
I think that might be the easiest. Because there's just so much to this.
Now, all three of us have played Final Fantasy VII Remake, and these two played the demo. I just watched it, but in exchange, I watched the trailer, so I do have some more information than these two.
Okay, please don't tell us anything.
We've all played the original Final Fantasy VII to completion, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, so like just as a notice, we are probably going to be going into heavy spoilers for the original story of Final Fantasy VII. 30-something-year-old game now.
Yeah, no,
and extended universe. So that one guy who didn't play
the
Crisis
Barrett
Core.
and Cloud kissing scene will be spoiled. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Speaking of men kissing, I've just had this thought in my head this whole time, and I gotta get it out before I forget. But Sephiroth's depiction in Nibelheim this time is actually, I perceive it differently. See, in the original, the feeling I got was, wow, Sephiroth's a really nice guy, right? In the Rebirth demo, what I get instead is, wow, Sephiroth is a homosexual.
Yeah, I also kind of just got like, he might have always been a little weird, what with his, like, you know, he has that scene where he just starts laughing in front of like the gates of Nibelheim. But they definitely turned up the gay for Sephiroth in this game, and I am all for it. It is so much fun.
Like, it's more than the puppy line. It's like everything every single time he interacts with Cloud/Zack, it's just the most flirtatious, on the nose shit ever. I love it, but I'm also like, god damn, this is not fan fiction anymore, bro. This is canon. I don't care what you say. I love it.
Yeah. That part where Barrett's like, man, he sounds like a pretty good guy, and then Cloud's like, yeah, and then we started kissing and making out. It was crazy, and just described it for a solid 10 minutes. I
can't wait for
this is why we play.
The Cloud and Tifa sex scene when they're under the... Are they under the ship?
Yeah.
That's gonna be Cloud and Sephiroth instead.
Yeah.
It's still gonna be there, but I just want you to be able to like barely see Sephiroth in this like distance, just seething,
staring
with anger.
Okay. I guess if we're going
How could
linear,
you take Cloud from me.
You know what's funny? Hints of that have kind of been dropped. Because Sephiroth has specific things he says in the final boss of Remake towards each of the party members.
Yeah, isn't with Tifa, he's just like, I have nothing to say to you, get away from me.
Be gone. Like, he hates her.
Really? I don't know about that.
Sephiroth says, get out of here, hussy.
It's actually, it's the most vitriol Sephiroth has in that game. he's genuinely like, I hate you, Tifa. Which is
God.
what are we implying here? That because she stole his man? Like,
There's nothing, because there's nothing else.
There's no
there's
other way
nothing
to
else in the
interpret it.
plot that, like...
If he showed that much hatred for Aerith, it would make sense, because it's like, in the end of the original, it's kind of like, her spirit is what prevents him from winning, you know?
He remembered the minor inconvenience of falling off that bridge and still blames her for it.
That's really funny. Okay, good. Shuffle is working.
Yay.
So, oh yeah, by the way, everyone, please, we're using the Flaccid podcast music playlist that is available publicly on the channel for you to listen to at your own convenience. So, enjoy that.
And if any of those songs are region blocked and you can't listen to them, well then, hey, you can use our new sponsor for the podcast, ExpressVPN.
We're not actually sponsored.
Give us money.
Give us money. Hey.
We won't tell you how, but just figure out a way.
Tell you what. What's the ball shaving company?
I can't remember.
Oh,
Shinra.
God damn it! What is it? It's
I would not even pretend to know. Aside from a moment ago where I pretended
Hojo
to know.
says, "Shave your balls."
I bet you Hojo has the
Hojo
nastiest, hairiest cock, bro. I bet you it's awful.
The experiment, that's what he calls it.
Like worse than Travis touchdown. Like it's bad. Okay. If we're going linear here, then there's one very obvious fast thing to say, and it's that watching Cloud act like Zack is like watching someone wear another man's skin. It is.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, hats off to, like, Cloud's voice actor, because it's not just the skin. He's doing his lines in like Zack's cadence of voice. It's so
crazy.
Uncanny.
I wouldn't be surprised if they got the two voice actors together and just went, okay, so how would you read this line? And then he does it in a Zack way, and then Cloud just imitates that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, like, it sounds like it's that specific. It's crazy. Like, the character acting from both the voice and the animation is top notch. It's crazy.
I have to wonder, like, if anyone is playing this without knowing the whole twist, like, does this just seem, like, weird and wrong, or do they not really get it?
Okay,
yet?
so I have something to add about this, because for the listeners, prior to recording this, I wasn't originally intending to be part of it. I actually wasn't going to watch the demo, because I wanted to, at some point, play it for myself. But I decided to watch it because there's a YouTuber who was playing Remake and Rebirth for the first time and has absolutely no experience with Final Fantasy or 7. The only thing they know is Cloud and Sephiroth are in Smash. That's it.
That must be an interesting guinea pig.
Yes, and I was very curious because I played Remake prior to 7, but I knew a good bit about the lore, but they knew nothing. So I've been watching them, and they're just, not only are they having a blast, but they don't question it at all. They're just like, oh, Cloud's such a silly little guy when he's happy.
Wow, when he was a teen, he sure wasn't angsty.
Yeah, like
That's kind of
a lot of the hints just go over a new person's head. It's very cool.
Wow, that random soldier sure does sound like Cloud, though.
Yeah, I mean, they started to question when he was like, "Mom," and he's like, "Huh? What's that about?"
Dude,
but you know, there's not enough there. They don't know.
The finer details they're so well executed. Just every time that soldier is on screen, it's so meaningful, you know.
And it's not even just that soldier, but there's also there's another there when you're exploring through Nibelheim, you can. One of the like random soldiers is still there, and it's voiced by Zack.
Yeah,
and so it's just like, that's Zack,
and he talks about his girlfriend.
I didn't catch that.
He talks about his girlfriend.
Oh, that's the same voice actor. I didn't catch that.
Yeah. No, I'm so glad I played it a second time because I caught so much more. Like, this game is like this is just the demo, dog. Like, this game is gonna be impossible to see at all. This is gonna be the Kingdom Hearts 1 of Final Fantasy.
I've totally flopped. I played Crisis Core not that long ago and did not recognize the voice actor.
Yeah, and like, man, just the new Nibelheim is really, really good, and I think it gives
so
a really good look at like how the game will handle the random towns you come across in the open world segment.
Oh, it
Because
fills
I
me
think
with
like
such confidence.
people, I think one of the things people have been wondering is like the pacing, since they just blew up Midgar in terms of scale
Mhm.
and how much content. But and so I guess people were wondering like, how are they going to fit everything else in if they're going to that same length? I think Nibelheim shows like they're not going to do quite as big of an expansion as Midgar, but they're still going to give it a real good blow up.
I think it'll be by area.
I don't think anyone was expecting everything in the open world to be as expanded. Because, by the way, a salty moment here, real quick. I took off a bunch of DK64 songs, James. You fucking hater.
Yippee!
Fuck you. Due to the nature of the second third of FF7, I just think blowing it up like that is just unnecessary, Like, the groundwork is much more plainly laid out for this game, for Rebirth.
There's something, they talked about this in interviews too, but it's very notable to me when I was watching the Let's Play at Nibelheim in particular, because when you play Crisis Core, you actually get to go to some of these locales, Gongaga, Nibelheim, whatever, and they're very they're definitely expanded from the original 7, but they're very gamified towns. They're like hallways and stuff. So when this game was being developed, I half expected them to base Nibelheim's layout off of Crisis Cores, and it's not really. It looked like they took the original map from 7 and expanded it out with the express intention of making it feel lived in, like a real place you could go to. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the primary focus for all the places they're going to go to in the 7 Remake trilogy. They've talked about other areas I won't specify, but how they want to expand them out in a way that makes sense both to the lore and, like, if there were people living there, like, how would life be like here, And yeah, Nibelheim's a great example of that. It feels so lived in. There's so many people for a while.
What's one thing what's one thing I really like about Nibelheim?
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's like a pretty poor and small town, like it's really just not like big and bustling or anything. It is noticeably happier than the slums of Midgard,
Oh yeah.
Like, this is just a small community who, like, they get by and they're just happy,
Mm-hmm.
They're not under the throes of capitalism as hard. So I like the depiction of the people of Nibelheim and stuff, which also makes it a lot sadder when, but we'll get to that. So, okay, God. Even the
Do we want to start?
The smallest okay, linear. You start.
Yeah.
The game starts with the first character you play as is Sephiroth, which is just a beautiful move.
Perfect.
They know. And I think from a game design perspective, I think it's really interesting how they handled Sephiroth, because in the original game, the Sephiroth was a party member. You did not control him, and he was just so much stronger than you. He had all these tier 3 spells that just wiped every enemy encounter. You really just didn't contribute to the fights, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now with the playable Sephiroth, they have to make you feel inadequate in a different way, right?
Yeah.
And I really like the way they did it. Is they kept a few of the things, like he just has all these level 3 spells and stuff, right? But it's also like his playstyle is fucking hard and weird. It's so skill based to the point where, like, you're not gonna get enough time to actually experiment and get good with it. So it's like, no, Sephiroth is too good for your grubby little hands. You could never maximize the potential of this god, that's how I think they were going, what they were going for, and I love it. It's wonderful. Like, cards on the table, I was so much more comfortable playing as Cloud in the demo. Like every time I swapped to Sephiroth, things started going wrong, and I felt so bad. But with Cloud, it's just like, oh fuck, bro, this shit's so fucking. God, the way these characters control, bro. Oh my fucking god. Okay, also, I've had a lot of thoughts I've been storing. I should have taken notes. I've had so many, but like, okay, guys. If I was one of these people, but if you've ever thought, I wonder if when all 3 games are going to come out, they're going to stitch them all together into one big package. No, that's impossible. This is a completely different video game than Remake. Rebirth and Remake are 2 different games with 2 entirely different systems.
That's what it looked like.
There's so much more to Rebirth.
I really like the new additions to the combat in this game with like the team attacks.
Yeah, and the traversal, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have a clamber button now.
People, Remake was a demo for this game. Especially
Honestly.
after seeing the showcase at the State of Play. Like, this game looks like... When 7 Remake got revealed, people like felt like this was this impossible, magical game that could never exist. And like, sometimes I still play it and I feel like that. But what people think Remake was is what Rebirth is. Like, it is... gargantuan in both like size scope and also just like all the things they've done with it.
In some ways, I was ready for Rebirth to outclass Remake. Like, obviously Remake had very little materia to work with, right? It's stuff like that where it's just they're leaving themselves room to improve on. But then you play this demo, and just in the demo, in the first 2 hours of the game, they just throw all this materia at you. You can't stop picking up materia. It's crazy.
Yeah, you don't have the time to like really test it out or get used to it.
Straight up. No, I did not get to use. I played it twice. I have not used all the materia it gives you. You can't. It's impossible.
Since the flashback, I wonder if you'll keep all the materia you found.
That too.
I don't.
Especially since you can skip it in the
so.
full game.
But also, all the material they give you doesn't seem crazy. Maybe the power-up blue material. Maybe
okay, actually, what's going to happen is right after that flashback, you're going to suddenly get a party of like 5 people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess that makes sense to be given a lot.
Actually, no. What's going to happen right after is like, as they're leaving the hotel, they're gonna be like, wait a second, all of our materia's gone. Someone stole it.
Cut to Yuffie running
It'd be a
away.
little too early to do that, right?
That isn't when that happens in the original, but we'll see. Again, like I said,
I just feel like it'd work as like a setback mechanic.
It would. I think the materia Cloud gets
I see what you mean.
in the demo isn't crazy. And also think you're gonna have to spread that out between 3 characters.
What's the comet? The comet materia wasn't in Remake, right?
The what?
The comet materia, where you like summon little meteors.
No.
Okay.
Was there a comet materia in the demo?
Yes.
What?
And it's very cool.
Where?
I don't know. I think it was just hidden. If I remember correctly. No, I don't actually remember, but it's just somewhere on the path up the mountain.
And I took my time with the demo.
Yeah, still missed it. That's crazy. Skill issue.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Hey, I did good on that fucking piano. Go check out the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of, we are getting a little ahead talking about the combat. Just all of the little things in Nibelheim. Like, I was kind of surprised with the delivery in this game is so good that it managed to like, re-catch me on moments that were in the original game. Like, I loved the segment where you can go through Tifa's house as Cloud.
Yes.
And the voice acting just, like,
it's so
really
funny.
helps sell that moment. Just like, wait, Cloud, you went in my room?
And then you open her drawer or something, and Tifa and Aerith in unison go, "You asshole!"
That was so good.
Like, I'm gonna be real. Remake and Rebirth, I'm gonna assume the third part too, they're not carried by the voice acting, but like, it's so much. The voice acting
I
and character
think-
direction of these characters is like, I could not ask for more.
I don't think there's a single person.
It really
on this
does.
Earth. Sorry, go on.
It really does feel like I am seeing. It helps me see these characters like again for the first time. It
Yes.
feels like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
I was
such.
saying,
Go ahead.
there's you know how there's people who didn't like remake or complained it's not like the original, but like I don't think there's a single person on this earth who played either of these and like disliked the characters. Like everyone loves the cast so much, and the voice acting is so huge, such a huge part of that.
Can we? We shouldn't even talk about this, but like the in quotations discourse about the remake and it being 3 parts and all that. I hope we can just leave all that behind this time.
It's all played to death already.
It's all played to death, and at this point, I'm just like, either you're cool or you're not. Cause I'm gonna be real with you. If you don't fuck with the Final Fantasy VII remake or Rebirth, I cannot trust you all the way. There were some people, there were some like YouTubers and shit that I just love to death, but they'll say some shit like, "I loved remake until the last few hours," and it's like, oh, so you're lame. So you're a lame.
Those people
bitch.
should just play the game again.
I'll say names of people who don't do that. Like Tim Rogers, hell yeah, bro. That's a real man right there. That's a real guy.
A king.
I don't want to call out people.
Yeah.
But there are some that would shock you if you did not know.
But the Namurisms, Namura.
But Ransom, this game doesn't fit the tone of the original.
Okay, who the fuck says that? What the hell? What are you talking? Do people say that?
A certain YouTuber said that the original Final Fantasy VII was a silly game with occasional serious moments, while the new games are serious with occasional silly moments, which just I can't think of anything more wrong.
The new game, they're Yakuza games, might as well be. They're like, it's whatever.
They remember playing them as kids and seeing the little doll-like character models and top-down view, and it's like toys to them. There's no themes or seriousness.
I'm gonna say this, and this will be the last thing we say on hating people, but there was one YouTuber who I like a lot. Not as much as others, but I like them. But they're an avid hater of the remake, right? And then one day, they finally streamed the game, and I watched the stream, and they were just holding the square button like they were playing FF15, and just not using ATB ever. And I'm just like, I don't think you can judge the game if you play it that poorly, bro. Like, I'm not trying to be an elitist here or like a gatekeeper, but like, if you literally are not engaging with the basic mechanics of the video game, I don't think you have the right to say anything about it at this point.
But that's bad game design. They should account for me just smashing the button the whole time and not doing anything else.
I think you should. Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah. So getting back to
positivity.
So that piano mini game, I'm glad that it's staying.
It's also
it looks like it's going to be kind of a recurring thing throughout the whole game. It's really interesting because it's actually trying to kind of mimic playing a piano and making you use both of your hands and like to do the melody and the counter melody. It's like I gave it a go and it was surprisingly like tough.
It's tough. It's hard.
Because like those notes on the left stick will really sneak up on you.
Yeah. You gotta do both.
And it already takes a lot of focus to like, I don't know, the fact that it's not 4 directions but also diagonals.
Yeah.
I will say
really kind of
it's definitely extremely generous with where you hit on the stick. Like, I swear to God, I've hit, like, left, and it was like, no, that was down left. It's okay, buddy.
Okay.
But
for the person I watched, the for whatever reason, increasing the note speed a little bit actually helped them.
That's insane.
That might be.
I need so much time to prepare.
Well, when
That's
it's going
actually-
slowly, you'll see it, but like you'll react more quickly than you mean to sometimes.
I need it slow so I can actually see the left-hand notes.
So I played my fair share of Rock Band when I was a kid, and actually, there is a logic to how increasing the note speed can help, because you might like. It's easier to figure out like the exact moment you're going to hit if it's going a bit faster rather than it being slow. Like you can kind of accidentally jump the gun much earlier if it's
you know,
going too slow.
I guess it does help that I know Tifa's theme by heart.
Yeah. I like that, like, you go into a room or whatever, and you talk about, he goes to the piano, and they're like, oh, did you play it? You can just be like, yeah, man, I just rock
Played
out
on your
that thing."
piano.
But then after you're done, they'll be like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. Like, where did you learn how to play piano,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly? And does he answer? Like, where did he learn to play piano?
He doesn't answer.
Cloud, where did you learn to play the piano?
He should have said the same place I learned to dance.
Okay, good,
He got
good
it
point.
from within the. It's another like memory he got from Zach.
Wait a
within
second.
mods.
Sephiroth taught me while he held my hips.
Wait,
hold on.
No, that was a Xander guy, huh?
Did Cloud play piano or Zach? Surely Cloud.
Zach definitely didn't. So
Surely
I'm pretty
Cloud
sure
was
it's just
remembering-
Cloud's.
Because that'd be insane for Zach to just enter Tifa's house.
Honestly, it's up in the air whether even Cloud or I mean, I think Zach can go in there at Crisis Core, but anyway, it's up in the air whether Cloud went in there. But I like to believe he actually can play piano. I mean, maybe he learned in Nibelheim. Who knows?
So here's a new thought. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, since we're having the gold saucer and like the singing stuff, we should have a section where you can have Cloud have a singing.
Make it like
part.
the FF6 opera.
I don't know, just like make him
have all the
sing
characters
and
make
make
a
him be really good
band.
at it.
Alright, that'd be great. Okay, this is an actual spoiler, but we all know this.
Mhm.
Oh, no. I can say it in a non-spoilerly way, but when we get to the gold saucer, you should be able to watch someone sing, and like the Yakuza media game, just hit buttons to go, yeah! Woo! Yeah! Just
Yeah.
yeah.
Very good. Yahoo!
You know what? Barrett would be the only one who's
Go,
doing it in a
me,
normal
ski.
way.
We're gonna be able to take Kate Sith on a date, aren't we?
Probably.
Are we dating?
I just think of the clock. It's a little ahead. We can talk about that
Okay.
later
So
on.
I
but
have something I want to say about Nibelheim again. Is these supremely minor characters just getting these moments where you just fall in love with them so fast, like the mayor
Tifa's
and Tifa's
yeah,
master.
Tifa-
Tifa's master. That's exactly what I was gonna say, bro.
Tifa's master is just this wandering freak.
And I already want to spend a whole game with him, bro. He's
apparently
so
like
charming.
118, 128 students or something. Like, what is he? What is Blade talking about? Like, how did he do that? Who are his students? Are they gonna beat me up?
I want
wanna
him
know.
to beat me up. He's hot.
He should. He could simply have solved the tragedy of Nibelheim if he went and punched Sephiroth in the face. I'm just saying.
It does also kind of help explain why Tifa is just a freak of nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because not only is she trained by this insane person, but he himself also says, "Oh, she's a natural," you know.
Mm.
Like I never questioned
Also-
the fact that Tifa was punching monsters, but this helps contextualize it, which is nice.
Yeah.
Up to now, there wasn't much. Hold on, I wanted to go back to this real quick because when you boot up Rebirth, of course you can watch the little recap, which I think is a good recap.
It is a good recap.
Very
I
good.
like it. I watched it.
After that, you have the little part in the truck, where it's raining and you play Sephiroth for the first time. And then from there, you start Nibelheim and you can just explore for a while. And for a good like half the demo, that's what you're doing. If you're spending your time is like just seeing all there is in Nibelheim to do. I was gonna say
Go
something, but I forgot.
I have a few things to say about gameplay outside of combat.
Uh-huh.
So one, I just want to throw this out there. In Remake, when you swung your sword to break boxes, it took like an absurdly long amount of time to start running again.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
They fixed that.
It's like I just wanna. Okay, good. It's like I just wanna keep going.
Pretty much a few frames after Cloud is done swinging the sword, you get full control back again. Which is fantastic.
I have
Go ahead.
a couple questions about Nibelheim once you're done.
So, also, the clamber button, bro, it is a lot more free than I thought it would be. I thought it would be, like, hyper-contextual, but it's, like, really snappy and video gamey. Like
climbing up walls, you mean?
No, well, yes, but, like, just pressing the circle button to initiate a roll, and then you can cancel that roll into any object, and Cloud will just vault over it. It feels really good. And the fact that you can cancel the roll, you know, like, it feels very good to play. Maybe it looks a little goofy, but pressing the button and just have Cloud do this shit.
I'm just glad they made everything faster and more fluid.
I know it's essentially just the run button in, like, Assassin's Creed, but it just feels better than that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Of course, it wouldn't have worked as well if they had that in Remake, because, you know, Midgar's full of corridors and whatever, but...
Oh, and specific thank you from me to you, Square Enix. Thank you for having the option to run with the right trigger and not clicking the left stick. Thank you. I hate running with
that
clicking.
really helps.
It's... I think all games should ban running with clicking the left stick. It's the worst
feeling
thing in the world.
It makes sense for certain genres,
FPS,
but I think that
understand.
Yeah, if you have the
like,
buttons to spare, the trigger option is nice.
Do you mean like holding the left stick in, or just clicking?
Even
it,
just
like,
clicking
turn
it, because
the toggle?
Because let's be real, you're gonna press the run button more than any other button in any game, and clicking the stick constantly, I hate it. I hate it a lot. If I can,
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
I'm gonna do it. So thank you for letting me hold R2.
They should put attack and run on the same button, and it should be the start button. That would lead to no confusion.
They should just have Stinger be the fastest thing you can do.
I don't have much to say about gameplay, of course, since I didn't actually play it myself. But in Nibelheim, there's so many little details. Like I imagine it's easy to miss some of these things. Like, so you can go to like a shop and speak to a shopkeeper, and she has like her 2 kids with her. Yeah. And if you keep talking to her, the kids say some of the funniest things.
I can't remember exactly what, but it's just like it's a little girl and then a little boy repeats pretty much what the girl said, but in a much dumber way.
I just remember one of them is like, "Are you a soldier? Are you a shoulder?"
Yeah, it's great. It's
very good.
Fantastic.
But I had some questions since I didn't get to play it myself. One, I know you go to your mom's house and you have that whole segment there.
I love how she looks like Cloud.
Oh yeah, Claudia.
Yeah.
What happens if you try to go back into the house after that scene?
I never tried that.
A few people did, and I imagine the game will tell you, like, Cloud will be like, "No, I don't want to do that."
Yeah.
You know.
I did try saying no to the gang, saying like, "No, I don't want to talk about that," but they were like,
"It makes you anyway."
No, you don't have to. They go, "Okay, we won't pry." Of course, it's like Aerith saying that, but then you can go right back, and it'll give you new options that are like, "Actually, you know what?"
That's cool. What there's also this sandwich lady who like feeds you sandwiches.
That sandwich is the weirdest looking fucking model, bro.
Yeah, if you guys didn't notice, he eats the wrapper with
he does
eat the wrapper. Do you guys eat your sandwich with a peel?
Can you just like keep eating them?
I don't know, I didn't try.
You can keep eating them, and after you've eaten like 20 or something, the game will keep you from eating more, being like, don't spoil your appetite for dinner.
That's really great. God, this game, seriously, this is gonna be the next Kingdom Hearts 1 in that 20 years from now, people are gonna be making videos going, "Did you know?" And you're gonna go, "No, I didn't know. What the fuck?"
Oh god. There's just, man.
This is insane.
And all that's just like, to be fair, this is, I believe, the intro of the game, so it makes sense that'd be stuffed, but I imagine like the whole game's just gonna be full of detail.
Like
so
maybe not
cannot
every
wait.
town is gonna be as packed as this, but at least a little
Yeah, but-
packed, you know?
Yeah, like, well, I remember it's like, you know, Junon in the original was pretty sprawling. I'm pretty interested in seeing what they're gonna do with that.
They're expanding even the bigger cities from all the games. So like I'm very excited.
I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
And we gotta get right back after this, because this is a dumb question, but would y'all rather the third game cold open on snowboarding, or the second game end with snowboarding while the credits roll?
I don't know if either of that will, like, tonally work.
No, I know,
Like-
and I want that. I want it to be the most tonally inappropriate thing ever.
It just starts off, the game just opens, and the
Like, I don't...
opening cutscene is that Oni animation
Oh,
of
yeah.
snowboards.
I'm gonna be real. Oh, he means the Oni NG. Just to be clear, I don't want. I don't even want a cutscene. I don't want a main menu. I want you to put the disc in your fucking PlayStation, and after like the logos, it's snowboarding. That's just it. Okay, back to.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I was trying to think of a joke to go along with this, and I'm stuck between two routes. So it would be funnier, like Cloud taking Aerith's body and then snowboarding using her as a snowboard, or using his sword.
I think Aerith's body is like the most ridiculous thing. It's funnier, but it's
Yeah.
also impossible.
just like frozen solid.
Speaking
just-
of Cloud Sword, him playing piano with that giant fucking Dragon Slayer on his back, bro.
Oh, I want to, like, unlock the camera so I can see the sword just clipping through the floor.
Absolutely. There's no way it's
That-
not.
The Gagan remake where he like bangs it on the door trying to get it out is still
Still the
funny.
funniest
So
thing.
funny.
Best.
Still one of the
The
funniest things.
best.
Also, okay, here's a genuine question.
Mhm.
This game has been in development for a long time.
Yeah.
Do you think that after the first game came out, they said, "Oh man, we should give Aerith a chair as a weapon," because people love it so much?
Like,
I don't
man,
think so. I
here's
wish.
Here's the thing: is like, I kind of wonder if it's
Chair.
going to be like a secret super weapon or something.
Yeah.
Like that's,
That would be wonderful.
Or a really shitty one.
yeah.
As like
Only if
ultimate
you-
weapon
only
for
if-
Aerith would be really funny.
Only
or, like,
if Yuffie gets a pizza.
That'd be good too.
I would like joke weapons for the whole
I
cast.
would too. They practically had some for Barrett in the first game.
What I'm doing? Why didn't y'all come hang out with us?
We're
We're
recording a
recording, gamer.
podcast.
Oh, okay, bye.
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 That was Casey, everybody. Make sure you call him slurs in the comments.
Guest appearance. No slurs are allowed.
No, don't do that.
That was our special celebrity guest, everybody.
Yeah. uh, so, back to Nibelheim and stuff. Is there anything else to say about Nibelheim? I mean, yes, of course. But, like, anything we want to say.
I had one more question, which is that when you're first going up the mountain, are you able to turn and go to the manor?
I don't know. Probably not, I'd say. Yeah, I tried
I
going
don't
backwards a
think
few
so.
times, and it didn't let me.
Okay.
I think that the mountain, and I think the game probably starts you off in the mountain path like too far to turn to the manor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Because the manor is like fairly close to the town.
It's like
Whereas,
right
like,
after
if
the
you're-
entrance where you took that picture. So
Yeah,
I think you might have been able to go to it, but what I
Mhm.
imagine would happen is it'll either turn you back or you're not able to go in.
Mm-hmm.
Or like a gate is locked or something, maybe.
Okay.
I think it was open when I watched.
so. Like,
That's why I had to ask.
I gotta say, the set piece of the gang talking and the music starts to swell as you're going up the mountain, and you get that set piece of seeing the whole thing, and it looks like a goddamn painting. Oh my god, bro, this is peak.
This-
This
it's-
is peak.
I also
good.
loved the delayed credits.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
the credits.
yes.
Which, also, we didn't get a title drop, did we?
No, I don't think
It might
so.
be.
There might be
It
one.
might be before or after Nibelheim
Yeah,
sequence.
it might be because the demo cuts off pretty. It's pretty sudden. So there.
Well,
might
I'm
be
wondering
something
if
with
it's
Imagine
I
the
wonder-
title is right after that.
here's my bet. Actually. Go
maybe
ahead.
that, or like right when you step into the overworld
That's
for
what I
the
was gonna
first
say.
time.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh,
thinking.
yeah, that
Make it
might
like
be
Breath
it.
of the Wild.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be very calm after that.
God. Okay. So, by the way,
Okay.
I like how young Tifa has less abs.
She also got a higher voice. I think it's the same
Yeah,
voice
it's a good
actress,
detail. It's a good detail.
Yeah.
It's
all
not.
the
We
A,
have
voice actors.
finally,
it's not a different voice
finally,
actress, but she is.
we've
doing a higher
answered
pitch.
the question that people have been asking since Final Fantasy Rebirth, Final Fantasy the first remake.
Mhm.
Why is my brain not working? We finally answered the question that everyone has been asking, which is why is Tifa wearing that cowboy hat in that scene?
Finally
'Cause,
understand.
I know I didn't play Final Fantasy VII until after remake, and I think you're the same, James, because
Right.
it
Oh,
just
wow.
felt funnily out of place in that scene in remake when she's just suddenly wearing the cowboy hat, like grieving over her father's death.
I think for some reason I already knew. I think it was because of spin-offs. I already knew she had a cowboy costume. But yeah, I was like, is that a Nibelheim thing? Like, I imagine it's just the Xander or whatever his name is, the master or something, or her dad or something.
What is the answer?
That's what I'm wondering.
Is it because
it-
it's a cowboy town, or because that's like their ranger outfit?
Oh, yeah, it's just the ranger outfit because
Okay.
she's doing the whole tour guide thing.
Right.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I was more just saying that in jest, but
Okay, I genuinely couldn't tell because you had me questioning.
No,
it.
I was
like,
also like,
well,
did I
you
miss
know-
like a thorough explanation of the fucking cowboy outfit?
They're just those cowboys, I guess. You know,
It's-
cowboys and aliens.
cowboy
Favorite
town.
movie.
this yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
guess maybe she saw a Chocobo Sam show when she was really young.
I wanted to talk. I just remembered, and we should talk about this before we progress up the mountain anymore. But like the fact that it is a flashback being explained, like I love that. Even in the original, like this served as your explanation for who Sephiroth was, and like the characters are in your shoes. They're like learning this for the first time. So I love like Barrett breaking in and like, wait, Genova? You mean like the thing from the lab? Like what? He's like, I'll get to that. Give me a minute.
Yeah, it's a really
And
good
then,
framing device.
And also Tifa, for people who know what's going on, you can catch Tifa being really confused at some of the things Cloud says. But
Yeah, I love
she
that.
doesn't speak up more.
Yeah.
I will say, it's not how I envisioned it. I envisioned Rebirth having a cold open on the Nibelheim incident and just being totally fuck you to any new players. You're gonna have no idea what's happening. But no, it's very kind to. It's just like, no, okay, we're driving away from Midgar, and Cloud is explaining this whole thing.
Well, you're
Thankfully.
ransom because as the developers are saying, this is the perfect time to start the series.
Which they have
Final
to.
Fantasy VII Rebirth.
They have to say that.
Unironically, it might be though. We'll see.
I
I don't think this is a Kingdom Hearts 3 situation.
Well, I mean, my thing is.
Well, I'm more just referring to the fact
Gameplay-wise-
that every time anyone says that, like, it has never not been a lie, no matter which game.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're
like,
right.
We're talking about.
I agree, but also I'll put it this way: I've always been of the opinion that people can just play the remake trilogy first, even if it does end up changing the story. I think it can be enjoyed standalone. But people played remake and they were like, no, that ending, you have to play the original. Nothing will make sense. And it's like, again, there are new people playing it and they don't know who Sephiroth is. They know he's a bad guy, and then they go into Rebirth and it's immediately explained who he is. So like, there's not a lot of questions that like they have to have played the original or they're gonna be completely lost.
Yeah, I mean,
I will
as
say,
someone who played the remake first, I was like, yeah, of course I'm not gonna understand everything because it's part 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for this
The
specific
amount of
case,
people who didn't. Mhm.
for this specific case, like with remake being like actually a sequel, like I will say it won't be a complete experience without at least knowing the plot of the original. But it's also like it's a fucking video game, man. Like Rebirth is going to have its own appeal as like an open world JRPG with really cool combat and really detailed world, you know, which like that alone, yes, you can buy Rebirth and just enjoy the game on its own merits like that, you know?
Yeah.
And if you complain about being lost, then that's on you for wanting to know what's happening in part 2 of a remake trilogy.
Why don't they you're like, what? Who's this Chocobo Sam guy? I don't understand the lore. I should have played remake.
And now that it's really interesting going back to the combat of the remakes. Now that we've gotten Final Fantasy 16, which was another attempt at the real-time stagger-based system that they seem to be kind of developing right now.
They've been trying it since FF13, but boy,
Rebirth seems to be the best they've hit so far.
This game does not put 16 in a good light. I'm gonna say that. I love 16.
I think
had
that
a great
it
time
hits,
with it, but
yeah.
They were really framing
just the right balance of like the action and the more like RPG elements that people are kind of like looking for from Final Fantasy as a whole.
The fact that the RPG, the quote unquote more RPG game, it has a more action oriented cooldown system than the actual action game, which just has normal wait there cooldowns, like, oh my god.
Which I think is like one of those MMO holdovers in the game that you'll see people talking about.
Like, straight, I want to scream at whoever decided to just do fucking cooldowns in 16. That was the stupidest thing. It's okay.
They'll fix it. They'll fix it in Final Fantasy 16 remake and Rebirth.
Is it more satisfying to you that like FF7 has kind of like, I guess you could almost call it like a fake cooldown, where it's like it goes really slowly when you're not doing anything, but like every time you hit something, it rises up and is like really satisfying.
It's just you have to earn your big moves, and that's just so much better than waiting.
Sephiroth says, "I do not wait," and he just kills everything. That's very cool. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've gone into detail too much, but I think the combat system of Remake and Rebirth is like actually the most genius action RPG combat ever. Like, I could
just plays and it looks fun. It's like the perfect combination.
It is perfect.
It was the first time in years in playing like action JRPGs that I like looked at something and went like, oh, this is like something really new.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's
and
so
that I can't really like draw a line here to something else.
Man, we're gonna have like, we got 5, 6, 7, at least 7 like playable party members in this full version of this game. And they're all gonna have their own movesets and their own depth and all this stuff. And man, this game's just.
I am so excited for the amount of variety because, like, I liked all of the characters you play as in Final Fantasy VII Remake. And
all
like
4 of them were perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And they all felt really different. They all had cool and interesting, unique things that they could do.
Like, I've been waiting 5 years to get my hands on Red 13, bro. I've been just salivating over this fucking dog. I need to try him.
What I cannot believe is after seeing the trailers, I think Katshi or Kate Sis, whatever you want to call him, I'm just gonna call him Kate Sis. Let's call him in 7. But I think he looks fun. I'm excited to play him.
I haven't seen too many details about Ketchi.
I was wondering how they would adapt him, and it looks like they took some notes from his appearance in Dirge of Cerberus. I know that doesn't mean anything to you guys. But basically,
does he have a lot of like luck-based elements like the original?
So I don't know too much about the actual like mechanics. I just know he looks more fun to play, and more importantly to me, he's not stuck on that big Moogle all the time. He can like run around off of it.
Oh, that's really
cool.
So
like, yeah, he looks just in general more fun to play. Every character looks unique in their own way, and I love it.
So
I can't wait to play Vincent, and the game just actually turns into Dirge of Cerberus.
so
oh man.
you know, I was just talking. That'd be really funny. I was just talking about like it's so perfectly balanced between action and RPG, right? But this game, I was gonna say, but this game, it starts to tip the scales a lot more towards action because you got way more mobile dodges, you got perfect parries, and you have more just action attack moves, you know?
Well,
Free
the
synergy
perfect
attacks.
parry is for Sephiroth, so I don't know
No,
how much that's going
no,
to be in the full game.
If you can block perfectly and negate all damage. For all characters.
Okay, yeah, that's a really nice addition.
Sephiroth just has his own separate parry. But here's the thing, is like, the customization on offer here, I think, tips the scales back towards RPG and makes it balanced again in my mind, because your party lineup is going to change what those extra moves are, and the amount of material that's obviously going to be on offer here, it's like, no, there's plenty of RPG elements here to fall in love with. Like, this is still an amazing balance. But, like, dude, pressing R1 and plus square or whatever and getting that giant fuck you swing from Cloud, bro. Oh my god. It's amazing.
This is just gonna be the greatest game of all time, man.
You know, you say that, and I can't, but the demo so far just makes me think, yeah, probably.
Please don't mess it up, Square.
I just don't see them doing it. They didn't fuck up Remake. The demo seems to be better than, than Remake. Like, I don't know.
They have given me every reason to believe in them. I have faith.
Fuck's sake. Like, I'm just gonna go off about Cloud's combat, okay? May I do that? But, like, okay. Oh, what was the big flaw in the first one? Oh, aerial combat. Oh, no.
Aerial combat.
Oh my god, did they fix that? Holy fuck. Cloud just has a move at all times that sends him into the air. You dodge, and then you hold attack, square, and he will ascend and continue comboing. And now most of his AT abilities can be used in the air. It's amazing.
Yeah, see, it's really cool game design because Cloud ascends and then the player also ascends, you know, in that moment. They're like, pogging.
Yeah, I was noticing how, like, they didn't have the kind of odd, just walk up to an enemy that's in the air and you'll automatically kind of air attack thing they had going on previously.
The Kingdom Hearts shit, yeah. And, like, they changed his operator mode. Punisher mode, to where now he has this really cool, like, swinging back and forth combo.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. That was really fun.
Holding square in operator mode, where it's still an AoE attack, but it now brings enemies towards you. There's so many finer details that are like, fuck, they've been thinking, bro.
That reminds me. So did you guys play in performance mode or graphics mode?
I
played in I played in performance mode. Like, I turned it on and just the smoothness immediately won me over.
I bought a PlayStation 5 to play my games at 60, bro.
Now, I did hear people saying the game seemed like slightly more washed out than Remake, or like blurrier or something.
It depends on what room you're in.
Okay. And I imagine, to me, like, that doesn't even matter much, because I can still see how good the game looks and how big it's going to be, but, like, that was just something I was curious about.
If you're in a big ol' outdoor area on performance mode, it'll kind of drop the resolution a little bit, but anywhere smaller than that, it's hitting, like, 1440 or something like that. It looks good.
Well, it's like, right. Are you playing on a 4K TV, Ransom?
I am.
Okay, because, I'm still playing on a 1080p TV, and I didn't notice any difference. So, in the resolution,
I should play it in graphics mode, whatever you call that. What do they call it? Yeah. Resolution mode?
I think it starts you in graphics mode, like, by default. So, like, your first area.
Yeah.
You hold 30 FPS.
I just have to wonder, based on the descriptions, is the only actual difference just resolution?
I think.
So what do you mean? Like, so, like,
is locked at 30.
Yeah, it's locked at 30, but it looks better.
Yeah. Well, because what it says is it prioritizes a 4K resolution.
Right.
So I'm just wondering if to get to the 60s, all they're doing, lowering the resolution, or is it like, are they turning off some post-processing effects as well?
I don't think they're doing any
idea.
of that. I think all it is a dynamic resolution.
Okay.
In order to get the game to run well, we removed all of Cloud's bones.
I couldn't tell a difference when I switched between, so I just kept it at performance. So like, it seems like the way to go.
Okay, I'm gonna rant about Sephiroth's moveset now. Okay, his dodge being a teleport, of course. It also sends you into the air if it's on a flying enemy.
Yeah.
As well, Smash Brothers reference. His purple orbs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he has that now. You hold the button, and he just sends those exact same purple orbs. Where did Sakurai get that from?
Probably Kingdom Hearts and Dissidia. It's probably just like a general, like, he's a villain, he can summon orbs of darkness.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know.
like,
What if he just like went to the Square Enix offices one day, like when they're planning out the character, and they were just like, "Yeah, here's some footage of Sephiroth in like Rebirth. If you want some like inspiration for like moveset stuff."
I mean, it's totally not impossible.
I
if that
think
happens.
didn't Sakurai literally say like, "Oh no, yeah, I got to see Rebirth, but I ain't gonna talk about that." Didn't he say that during the Sephiroth presentation?
No, but he did say like, there's no guarantee the story will happen the same in remake, but you know we'll find out.
Neat. Okay, so got my little intricacies about Cloud and Sephiroth's movesets out. I also love that it auto puts Sephiroth as a party leader once he joins the party.
Of course.
Of course it does. Of course.
It makes sense narratively, but also like, come on, give him to me.
I will say,
Give me his luscious hair immediately.
he definitely has a whole ass moveset to the point where
You think he'll be playable in like data fights or something?
or something beyond.
Finally, they're bringing in Kadaz. He's gonna be a permanent party member.
I'm just saying, it was a lot of work. Clearly, he's a full character, and it's like,
It's gotta be playable in some, like, even if you're just replaying the chapter, like,
Data
it's
fights,
gotta be
sure.
something else.
Well, if they're letting us take the control now, you know what would be the cruelest thing is they do the inverse of the Sora button, and when you're at the city, when you're at like the Temple of the Ancients,
oh my god.
and you're walking up to Aerith, you get the Sephiroth prompt.
Sephiroth. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay,
It lets you put in the, like, use the command to use Hell's Fury or whatever, Hell's Gate.
And also, so one little thing, just this might be kind of funny. Because I know that you know, with they're expanding some of the like little plot details. Wouldn't it be kind of funny if the other soldier who like washes down the river ended up being like Roche or something?
That guy just vanished. I don't think it'll be Roche, but that guy just like got removed from the plot. Do you think? No, wait. He's totally gonna show back up though, right? Like that's what you call a Chekhov's gun right there. Law of conservation of detail.
Sephiroth never said he was dead, just that he was.
He said fate will.
Up to fate.
Yeah, like fate is an important part of remake. That guy's gonna show up randomly, and be like, "Hey, I know you, Cloud." That's what I imagine.
What I want for Roche in the next game is just you to be exploring like the overworld, and he'll just randomly come by. It's like, "Hey, Cloud, you want to race? We can race right now."
I want a Roche everywhere system.
The Roche moment.
Oh wait, no, I know what it's gonna be. He's gonna be at the Golden Saucer, and he's gonna be like the #1 Chocobo racer.
You're probably right. Whatever they do with him, I can't wait to see him again. Because that guy was just wacky. Loved him. So let's see. Okay. Hype-ass Zamboni gameplay.
Oh yeah, the freaking vacuums
You
or
can
whatever.
make it go faster with the run button, which thank God. But
Yeah.
No.
that was probably the low point of the demo for me.
No, I mean from watching it at least, because I didn't have the combat, but like there's a good bit where you're literally just climbing mountain and fighting. And I'm sorry, I just randomly remembered this, but the inn where you go into and where Sephiroth and Cloud are staying, even though it's based on the original game, it's also like 1-to-1 with Crisis Core Reunion. I just thought I'd
that's
mention
neat.
that. Yeah, I was like, oh
Well-
crap, I was in this room.
Well, it's also I
going
need to
in-
remember it's like Crisis Core. Well, I think it's good to remember is that like Crisis Core itself reuses assets from Remake, so
Yeah, some of it was
It
probably
makes
from
sense.
Reunion. Yeah. But
Walking-
anyway,
Walking up the stairs, turning a corner just to see Sephiroth staring out a window, bro.
that happens in Reunion also. I was
was-
like, holy crap, I played this scene.
That was so funny. Doesn't really
Every-
happen in
him-
Reunion.
He's just yeah, that you get to do that part, the whole part with Zack and Reunion, so that
Nice.
happens.
Um,
But it's just nice seeing Sephiroth just be a guy.
I know
it's just so
great.
funny.
It's one of my favorite parts of the original.
Yeah. But yeah, so a good bit you're just climbing up that mountain and you're exploring that little
Do a little
Shinra thing. You
Uncharted
fall off a
climbing.
bridge. Is there much to say about this whole section outside of combat? Little moments,
No,
just
it's mostly just tutorialization
soldiers
and
and-
stuff, getting you used
Yeah.
to it.
finding a
it's-
bunch of materia, missing the combat materia.
Shut up. It's fun as fuck, no doubt. I was just giddy with a giant smile on my face, just ready for each new fight. Just like, I want to try this now, and I want to try that, and this, and that, and I just, oh fuck, there's a new material, I want to try that. Just
I
constant.
can't believe Sephiroth didn't turn to Cloud and say, Cloud, this reminds me of my companions from the game Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, the first soldier. I'm going to stop and talk to you about that. I hope you played the mobile game.
Let's go ahead and get to,
Spend real money on my weapons.
let's get to the Mako Guardian. What is that? Materia Guardian? What's his
Oh.
name?
Yeah,
before that, I did have one last thought on. It just came to me again. This is jumping back to the piano, but
Mm.
is it just to me, or when you mess up, does it feel like super condescending with how the metronome starts kicking
Yeah,
in?
it's yes, absolutely.
It's just like, hey, oh, you so you little baby. Here's a metronome so you can get on rhythm. You don't know how to keep a rhythm.
White boy can't keep up with the beat. Oh.
It's like the Sakurai system with the difficulty lowering. Just like whenever you make a mistake, it's like, don't stop.
That was,
I'm not a
that was
bitch.
an idea he gave
I'm
them.
not a bitch. So the Mako, Materia Guardian,
I'm pretty sure it's a materia guard. Honestly, you don't have to skip to just that. Right before that, you have the whole section where Sephiroth explains the magic and they find the thingy. I love.
honest to God,
It's like 1-to-1
I'm
dialogue.
yeah,
I love
it
them
is
talking
like the
about Hojo and
exact
stuff.
same as the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like.
Uh,
okay, there is something to say. Motherfucker hates Hojo, bro.
Oh yeah.
Even before he started making discoveries, he's like, Hojo. What did he say? He was like, his father was a great man, but his son Hojo is anything but. Like, God.
No,
damn,
he
bro's
said-
got beef.
It was not the previous professor to Hojo was a great guy, and then
Gotcha.
Hojo was not.
Yep, he is the most hateable character, like in universe and in real life.
Oh yeah.
I think Sephiroth would be good friends with Hojo's son.
Haha. Okay. The Guardian. First thing, not as hard as the Guard Scorpion.
Oh yeah, but when you're fighting
'cause
the
you have
guard
Sephiroth with you.
scorpion, when you're fighting the guard scorpion, like you're still getting used to the game's combat.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Wait.
And it's also that fight though is pretty prolonged and like expanded out though.
Yeah.
Even if you're decent at the game, like it takes a minute.
Yeah,
There's
and
phases and stuff.
You're also very limited in what you can do. Okay, but I just remembered something pivotal about the combat.
Pivotal.
Okay. In Remake Part 1. Tell me this happened to y'all. I know it did. Okay, you'd be very excited. You finally just staggered an enemy, and you're about to go to town on him. You got all your shit lined up. You have a limit break ready. And then you hit him. Next phase.
Yep.
So here's the
It's all
thing:
gone.
is that I don't know if that is gone.
It is gone.
like, have we gotten confirmation?
Not like verbal confirmation, but from what I have played, it seems the exact same as 16, where it waits until the stagger is over, and then it goes to the next phase. I've had this happen multiple times.
See, that what worries me about that though is because you might accidentally skip a phase and like miss a whole part of the fight.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I wonder if it
even-
would make more sense to like either have the enemy just heal a little bit if you accidentally skip, like not all the way back, but like heal some of its health back if you skip a phase, or
Well,
if you do extra damage.
16
or
did it, and it didn't have a problem, so I'm sure they just balanced it correctly.
16 still kind of had it. It's just that it didn't interrupt you. It's just that you wouldn't do any more damage.
yeah, I think the best solution would just be like it doesn't stop you from dealing damage, but just like okay, next phase is about to start, like lessen the amount of damage, like I don't know, stop it by 50%.
Just
or
make
something.
it feel like fighting game combo scaling, where the further you get in, when you hit that phase change point, the less damage you do, but you can still try and squeeze out as much as you can just to see how much damage you can do in one stagger, you know? You know what?
I
don't even fucking care if you stop doing damage visible. Just don't stop the stagger, okay? It just felt bad, you know?
do you think
I don't know. I think there is an argue for stopping you in some cases so that you don't waste resources.
I understand that, but from what I can tell, again, it looks like it takes full damage and it will not switch phase until the stagger is done, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
guess I'll have to see till the full game. I
might be proven wrong, who knows, but I hope I'm right.
But yeah, just that fight's gonna be easier for a lot of reasons. I mean, you throwing comments at it, you got Sephiroth with you got synergy attacks.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh yeah, those synergy
almost feel
attacks were just okay.
I almost feel like gameplay wise, this is a better intro than remakes was.
James,
yeah.
do you know how synergy attacks worked? Because I'm unclear. Because from the demo,
there's two different things called synergy. It's a little unclear. There's like, there's like something that ties to parrying, and you can like do these synergy abilities, and then there's synergy attacks. And synergy attacks, I think, are, that's the one where like say Cloud and Sephiroth both put their swords up and do a cool thing. I think that's situational, where it can randomly pop up in battle,
kind of
like
context sensitive. Yeah.
It's kind of like the triangle commands in 3. And from what I can tell, they're free. Like, they don't take any meter or whatever.
They were.
But they just don't always pop up. So I think that's their... It's kind of like the amusement park attacks in 3, where you just randomly get them and get a really cool thing.
Well, it seems more like a reaction command in that it's there for a specific part of the boss fight.
But, like, that's not just regular fights, though. There's synergy attacks with all the party members
Yeah,
in the
I've
main
seen
game.
that, so I'm just like, I don't know.
So I imagine it'll just randomly appear, or like maybe when you take damage, it'll be more likely to show up. I don't know.
Tell you what, on the 21st, the Junon demo is coming to the demo, so we'll probably find out then. Yeah.
Right.
So speaking of the synergy attack between Cloud and Sephiroth, I realized something. When it does that pose between the two of them,
the double helix.
Yeah, when it does the pose, like the slow motion, I was under the impression this whole time that they were just mogging at the camera, you know, like separate from each other. I only just realized they're staring at each other. Sephiroth is looking like that at Zack.
It's the sexual tension, my man.
That's all it is sexual tension. You can't it's insane.
It radiates off of their swords and like bounces off to create an infinite chain of power. You know, that's why they're do so much damage.
Sephiroth is
just
looking at Cloud Zack. He's looking at him like that, bro. He's like mid-fight. They're doing a cool thing. Like, bro,
it's so good.
If Sora and Riku did that shit, we would not need a 6-hour video from a furry explaining that Riku is gay. Everyone would already know.
No, he was just doing it like a homie.
Dog.
It's just friends, you know. You don't sensually stare at your friends deep into their eyes and give them a little kiss goodnight, you know.
I am glad that out of all of like the alterations to like characters made in like, you know, Advent Children and stuff and all like the post main FF7 stuff. I love that, like, that is the one that they kept.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sephiroth being fucking gay.
Man, honestly, just everything in Nibelheim just shows me. Like, I already understood this, but it's really just further proof that they really do understand their characters, even though it's been so
Yes.
long and people want to think they've been flanderized. Like, no, they understand their characters. They could so easily have done a lot of, like, little missteps, and there just aren't any.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so after the boss fight, then you just get Sephiroth going crazy. I like how long, like, it's probably not even that long, but it feels like a long time where it's just we're going back and forth from Cloud to Sephiroth, like Sephiroth just reading more and more books and shit.
Can we talk about this?
Mm-hmm.
In the original game, I was not satisfied with this explanation or like how it played out. Like, it felt so weird, him going crazy. It was only text, and you could only convey so much with that. But like here, like the voice actor, and like how they say everything, it sells it.
Yeah, honestly, no, and also
I was like, oh, I get it now. Like,
I got a
this
little
man's
bit
losing it.
I got a little bit of the impression that he's being influenced by Genova a fair bit.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
Well,
once the
that-
eyes do the cat thing, he's under control.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always been, like, partly because of the poor translation, but it was always a question that people have had about the original FF7 is, like, how much of this is Sephiroth and how much of this is Genova, you know?
Well, I like the running idea that the original villain of the game, the villain of the original game is Genova Sephiroth. It's Seph being completely controlled by Genova. And I like the idea that the villain of the remake saga is a Sephiroth who is not controlled by Genova.
I'm so
Who is
curious to
also
see where it
evil.
goes. People who are fans of the original have this problem with the idea, which is that, or I imagine they do, which is that, like, it takes away from Sephiroth as a character if you're just like, no, he's completely under control by the weird alien, you know.
That was always
But
what
it's
was
like
happening.
Sephiroth as a person is what you see in Crisis Core and in this Nibelheim section. Like, he's just a guy. Like, he can develop to be bad, but like that's such a leap, man.
He's
like,
kind
this
of weird, but he's
he's
just a guy.
he's got his gray areas, but like he was not a step away from massacring a town. Like, you can't convince me of that.
No, I just remembered, like, one of my favorite moments with him in the demo is just the very beginning. Zack starts doing his stupid squats, and Seth just literally, calm down, bro.
Yeah. Like, he's a kind person. Like, he's a human. He has that question, like, am I human? But like, he's been very human up to that point. The way he acts, the way he reacts to things.
It's really
Yeah,
fun.
and so it will be interesting if this game starts to explore, like, his motivations outside of Genova.
That's
and-
what I want most. I want to see Sephiroth the man.
It's gonna be really important. At the end of the remake, Aerith was like, all the memories and feelings in the live stream, it just like flows off like rain off his back. Like, he just doesn't hear it. But it's not just for the people in the live stream, but like himself as well. Like, he puts all his memories on his past. It's just gone. Like, it's not relevant to him anymore. But like, as a person, Sephiroth of course cares about that stuff. Like, I mean, even if you haven't played Crisis Core, he knows other soldiers. Like, he was friends with Zack and Genesis.
Yeah, he's
and
actually
others.
chill. He is actually chill.
Yeah, he's got a past and friends and stuff. Like, so I'm so curious to see just how they tackle that, because the Sephiroth we saw here, where he just loses it and becomes a killing machine,
Yeah, James,
just a heartless.
I'm gonna set you up here. Like you said you told us in a DM earlier, but it's like you said you had never, like, you always took issue with the fact that it's like what Sephiroth did isn't like shown directly on screen and stuff, and it's more, it's a little vague. Like, he did burn the village down, we know that, but beyond that, it's like,
I wouldn't even say I took issue with it. It's just because it's left to interpretation. Like, yeah, he's bad guy, killed people, but like, you don't feel that unless you see it.
but boy, do you see it now.
Mhm.
Like,
And it's
holy
executed
crap.
beautifully. It like,
Oh, Yeah, just-
Tachi Jiha, I was just testing my abilities kind of moment. Like,
I will say the scene where everyone has the guns is really awkward.
Yes.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
That was the one misstep. However, I did see one good interpretation of it, which was none of them want to shoot because they're afraid the second they pull the trigger, they're gonna get sliced in half.
I mean, maybe. What if it's just in the
feel
full
like there
game?
are better
that you should-
ways you
Amazing
could
timing
have
for monochrome
shown
Jeeves
that.
to come on right now.
It's very possible that it was some weird ratings thing, kind of like how there was like no blood in remake, but like this version does at least seem to have blood. Like,
There's a little bit of blood in.
okay,
Remake.
I guess let's clean up and just go in order because we're almost at this part anyway. But like, so he goes to the mansion. You guys that whole scene where he goes crazy. By the way, the mansion is not laid out like it is in Crisis Core. They actually changed it to make more sense.
Also, music's going fucking crazy the whole demo.
Yeah, I thought you're talking about what we're listening to now, which is super unfitting. But yeah, the music in the demo is
Maybe I should scroll
incredible.
to the Final Fantasy music.
No, it's fine. But
This is entirely inappropriate for what we're talking about right
Yeah.
now. We're talking about Sephiroth walking up slowly to people crying and screaming, crawling on the ground, trying to get away, and just stabbing them slowly, bro. Like, this is not the move.
right.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys, I think I said this, and it was in the trailer, or the state of play. But like, this game's gonna have like 400 songs in it, and I think some of those are returning from remake. But like, there's so much new composed music. It's all gonna be amazing. But yeah,
It's Pog.
but getting back on topic, like, you know, they have the whole manor sequence. You have, you know, Cloud trying to figure out what's up with Sephiroth, and everyone treats him like a human. Like, you know, they look up to him, they idolize him, but everyone's like, hey, is he okay?
Yeah,
Do
they're
we need to
worried
bring him
about
medicine? And like, he's just losing it down here. I don't think he's eating anything. And then, you know, you get to the famous scene where, you know, everything's on fire. And I was, again, it's one thing to see the town burning, but like, everyone seems to be fine. Like, everyone's walking around alive, you know, they're like screaming and trying to escape. And then, after you walk up to your house, you have a really cool moment where they, you know, Cloud's walking up to save his mom, but also the soldiers there, and you see from both at the same time.
Yeah, you see Cloud, you see Soldier Cloud crawling up, which part of me is I'm wondering if that's a little too on the nose
I feel
for new players.
I do.
When
feel
he
like
said
a lot-
"ma,"
Yeah.
but here's the thing: for new players, they don't say, "Oh, that soldier is actually Cloud." What they see is, "Oh, why does that guy think he's Cloud? Is he a clone? Like, what's going on here?" You know, they don't know. They're not going to get answers. for
They
a
just go,
while.
huh?
Also,
Yeah, they're
like,
definitely going to think about it. It's going to be in the back of their mind.
also like the words you hear Cloud's mom say, like the fact that
Yeah, oh my god, the recontextualization of the shit Sephiroth said in the first game?
yeah, it's so
Wait,
it hits
you guys
so
knew that,
hard.
right?
No, I never fucking knew that.
Wait,
I-
what?
I
that's-
I thought
I didn't
Sephiroth was
connect
giving him
it.
orders.
no, I knew
didn't
that.
connect just now. I knew in remake that like he was mocking him in some way. Well, when I first
Y'all are killing
I thought it
me.
was either like kind of mocking him and his trauma over the incident, or like maybe it was like a remake thing of like, oh, of course you have to live because that's how this story plays out. But I never connected that was something that the mom said in the
I don't even know
in
if
the
she says
village.
that. I don't even know if she says that in the original game, but I guess
Yeah.
I'm proud of myself now. When I
'Cause-
first played Remake, I knew immediately that's what he was doing, because Cloud's
It-
reactions, like,
James, I
What
have
the
seen
heck?
entire theory videos talking about what Sephiroth was ordering Cloud to do with that.
they're
It
killing.
makes that
He
moment
frames
so
it.
much more sinister
Yes,
now.
it does.
No, that's why I love that part, though.
It's
just
great.
like,
It's fucked
he's-
up.
He's talking about here. Let me remind you of this, since it's been a while. But like, right before he says that, he's talking about how he killed Cloud's mom. He's like, "Yeah, her flesh shivered under my steel." And then he's like, "Cloud, one more thing," and he quotes her. Like, and Cloud's face, you can just see his reaction at first of understanding what he said, recognizing it, and it's just instant anger, and that's why he attacks.
Well,
It's
James,
like he knows exactly what Sephiroth is quoting.
you're officially the empath of the group. Empath.
you know it. You know it. You know, I'm just on another level. I just
guess so.
understand people.
You understand
know?
video game characters.
What gets me though is I don't. When I see it in Rebirth in the Nibelheim scene, is obviously the house is on fire. Did Cloud actually hear her say that, or
No
like
idea.
that's what I'm confused
Yeah.
about.
Okay. One other thing. Even though like we can't work with blood that hard, clearly, it's the shot of Sephiroth killing the mayor and then stepping on the hat is really good.
Oh yeah,
That was done very well.
human civilization is just nothing to this being that's above us. It's honestly, it's already chilling to see him like actually killing people, but especially he's slowly walking around stabbing people on the ground, killing that guy who was helping you. Like that hit, bro. Like
Yeah, because it's not even like It's not even like he's going after people who are like fighting against him. It's just like no people who pose no like obstacle or like threat to him.
He's
You
just
know,
ending their lives, and it's especially both really cool and really weird to see because Sephiroth as a character, he sees himself so above people that like, you know, crushing them would be like crushing every ant on the side of the road. Like it doesn't matter. So seeing him actually go out of his way to just like kill people, not exerting effort, mind you, but like just actually going out of his way to end their lives is like, man,
What
this
an
guy's
asshole.
just,
I
just
want when we get the full game finally. We finish that love that you can skip what you played in the demo. It's really
Yeah.
nice.
I'm not gonna do that.
I might.
yeah, I know, right?
I might, but I would love
Man,
if
this game's got to be a nightmare to code.
right when Sephiroth walks into the flames, you just hear Barrett go, "Damn, shit."
Lord.
Oh man,
My village got killed too, but not like that.
I'm like that shit.
Good lord. Marlene comes in and stabs Sephiroth to death and looks at Cloud and says, "I will never be in memory," and wanders off into the flames.
Oh man. I guess we kind of did it, huh?
I'm just sorry, I just randomly imagined an older Marlene like cosplaying her dad and having like a fake gun arm.
That'd be cute.
Yeah.
Um,
Or wait, cosplaying both of her dads.
I don't think.
Yeah, and then
Go ahead.
Timo just ends there. He walks into the fire.
Can't wait to see what happens after.
How did you react when it ended right there, Ransom?
I said
and-
no, and then I saw press any button for a little bit more, and I said oh boy, and I pressed a button, and I saw 3 seconds, and I went ah, and I skipped it.
Good idea.
I if the spoilers are as bad as you're saying, James, I really wish they wouldn't have put that there.
Now, for like someone who's played Remake like once when it came out and isn't huge on 7 discourse, like they probably won't parse a lot from that trailer. But for us, you're gonna watch that trailer and be like, "No, I didn't want to know that. I didn't want to see that."
No, I'm staying pretty clean.
They did show stuff that I think like wouldn't be bad for you to know, but most of those things are in the gameplay demonstration, which I think was much better. Like it just shows a couple areas from the game, explains some details. Very cool. But no, that trailer, you don't need to watch it. You're already gonna buy the game.
Yes.
I already have bought the game.
There you go.
I want to get it physically. I want the 2 discs.
Yeah.
God, I when I bought Remake, I bought the like deluxe version, and so I'm so tempted to like get the deluxe version of this game, even though I don't have a PS5 yet.
I want to have all 3 games physically and put them next to each other and look at it on my wall.
It's gonna
Yeah,
be
see,
magical.
this is why we need that ExpressVPN sponsorship, is so that we can get James a PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Manscaped. Ha! Brought it back around. Manscaped sponsor us. You sponsored worse.
We've seen the podcast titles.
Of Super Best Friends and Castle Super Beast. Yeah. That's fair.
I just
Huh. You know,
quick, which Final Fantasy VII character shaved their balls? Answer now.
Cloud.
Genesis. Okay. Anyway.
Probably. You know, Manscaped sponsoring a channel called Flaccid would be really funny.
Be very on brand.
Yeah. Manscaped, check out our business email. Is that listed? God damn it. Okay. I think we're good here, yeah?
Any final thoughts?
Nothing really. Just I'm super excited for the game proper to come out.
My final thought is on February 29th when the game comes out. For that day and the next few weeks, forgive me if uploads are slow. I'm going to be playing a video game very hard.
Well, we'll just have to do more podcasts like this one as we go along.
Yeah,
We should record a podcast for every hour you spend on the game.
No, we might as well let's play it, and I'm not doing that. I honestly, if we ever do LP the FF7 remake games, it's gonna be way after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe remake part one day, like after Rebirth, but
We're only going to LP Dirge server. Sorry, guys.
I don't want to do that. We might.
And the mobile bike minigame.
Anyway, I know it's been a while since the end of last year, but Kingdom Hearts 2 is coming, everybody. I promise.
Woo.
That
That game also has Cloud in it.
That game does have Cloud in it. A worse Cloud.
And Sephiroth. And Tifa. And Yuffie. And Aerith. And
Well,
Sid.
hold on. An Aerith with a lobotomy.
A little asterisk there.
Okay, well, go play the demo if you have a PS5. It's free. It's awesome.
It's very cool.
Bye.
Bye.
But